Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we are revisiting Heart of Invictus. So I just put out earlier a video recapping this where I was deliriously tired. I went through my overview of thoughts. I went into each episode and really kind of talked about everything. And since recording that, people have chimed in. I've gotten so many amazing comments from you guys I want to talk about and highlight. And then I want to talk about the reviews that are coming in because their people are hard at work trying to keep their numbers good while the rest of the people are starting to speak up about how bad this thing is. So I can't wait to talk about all of this with you all. Thank you so much for being here. Honk honk, everybody. So right out of the gate, I want to say a huge thank you. Thank you to each of you who took the time to write me the nicest things on my recap of this thing. I just am blown away by your kindness. Yes, I had some trolls, but it's fine. I will tell you, Harry and Meghan's people are out in full force on this thing. They do not want people, honestly, or negatively reviewing this. So I definitely had some troll comments, but you guys are amazing and brilliant, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I just can't tell you how much your comments mean to me. Okay, moving on. There are a couple of comments I would like to highlight, starting with this one here. Thank you, Victoria, for taking the time to explain this. As I replied to Victoria in my delirious state, I don't feel like I could correctly explain this. So let me read this comment to you. And again, well summarized, well explained, Victoria, with a lot of people chiming in and saying, yes, this is what they've heard as well. Ready? So Victoria says, Invictus Games is a worthy initiative gifted to Harry by the British royal family. When he said he wanted to do a version of the Warrior Games, his allocated team made it happen, not him. This should be about the veterans, not Harry, Archwell, and therefore the Harkles are profiting from the games. This is disgusting. However much money has been spent to this vanity piece would have been better spent on the game's athletes, not the whinging Montecito multimillionaires, nor Netflix. Harry sold his soul to the devil to profit off the less fortunate. This is not service. It's racketeering. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you for explaining that better than I could. And that's what I was alluding to. That's basically, again, I wish I could remember which book. I believe it was Cordia's, where he went into that kind of a version of this. It was, again, it's alleged, but it was something that the royal family did to keep Harold otherwise occupied, right? They had the right people set it up, and that's how it came about. Regardless, I totally agree with you. I think you make such a good point. Thank you for explaining this, because I have people heated in the comments like, you can't take it away from him. Well, it's got a board, right? So I've heard of things like that. You can oust people from a board, and I did put up a video 2 days ago where Angela Levin kind of talks about the same thing. Not so much of the board, but more of, it looks like they're trying to get these two ousted from the next year's games. So fingers crossed, right? Then I want to call attention to this comment. Thank you, Jennifer, for this. You don't know the laughs it gave me. Harry can't stop giving speeches. What else could we use him for? I believe that's something, I was delirious. When I recorded, I said something along those lines. Seriously, because that dude, every 5 minutes, they have 3 to 5 minutes, they have him give him a speech in this thing. So Jennifer came up with a list of ideas of what we could use him for. You ready? A hat stand, a doorstop, a scarecrow, a cautionary tale. You don't know the laugh this gave me. I love the list that you came up with. If anybody else has ideas of what we could use Harry for, leave them in the comments below, because this is a lot of fun. Okay, but Jennifer goes on to explain, basically, he's bitter, self-righteous, and entitled, and he makes good fodder for a Shakespearean play. Thank you so much for this, Jennifer. Well said. Again, thank you for the laughs. Okay, I got a lot of comments like this one saying, hey, what's with talking about, like, you don't want to spoil it, and can you spoil it for us, that sort of thing. Okay. I think, again, in my deliriousness, I used the wrong term. It's not, there's nothing really to spoil. I think what I was trying to say and what I meant was, I don't want to get her story wrong. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I can only tell you what's been presented to me. But what's interesting about, and I'll get into it, what's interesting is I've had so many comments kind of opening my eyes to the situation a little more. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is Yulia. She's easily the most riveting person in this docuseries. When I said about the spoilers, what I meant is I don't want to tell her story wrong. It's not that I want to give Harry and Meghan. People took that very literally, like, don't give them the views. Don't worry, I don't want to either. It's not that. I'm not saying go watch it for yourself. I'm saying I don't want to spoil this woman's story. I want you to read about her because it's so interesting. But I've also learned so much from you guys in the comments as well that I didn't realize. So let me talk about it. Yulia is a paramedic / ambulance driver for the Ukraine, and she's helped a lot of wounded soldiers. It sounds like she even helped people as they were recovering get involved in Invictus games. So again, very interesting story there. Okay. When you look into Yulia, and again, I learned this from you guys, this is crazy. I'm just going to read you what Wikipedia says, so that way we stick to the story that's going around, and then you can make up your mind about what happened. So it says in 2021, she received a body camera to take part in, this documentary series being produced by, Dum Dum. She used the body camera to document injured civilians and soldiers in the Ukraine. Before February 6th and March 10th, she recorded 256 gigs of video in a thumbnail-sized data card. Okay. So it shows her and her angels, the people helping to provide medical treatment to Ukrainian civilians, as well as Russian soldiers during the siege of this area. All right. So on March 15th, she was able to smuggle this card through Russian checkpoints. So, okay, I'm dancing around it. Here's what's being alleged. Allegedly, she was there to try to help Harry / the Archwell / Netflix get more footage for this documentary about what was really going on, right? She was captured. She was captured by Russia and tortured. And it's hard to talk about, right? It's so touching. This woman is incredible. And I'll tell you, she survives, and she is tough as nails, and this amazing woman. But if this is even more than speculation, if this is even kind of true, that it's because of this that she was put in this situation, what I'm saying is if it's because of being sent back to get more footage for this documentary, that it was during that time, allegedly, that she was captured. Nobody disputes that she was captured. It's just there's just talk about if it's because she was sent back for footage for this documentary. Anyway, if it has anything to do with that, that adds a layer of disgusting, I gotta find a new word, evil of, I would say, Harry and Meghan / Archwell / Netflix for truly endangering somebody to try to get more footage. It's awful. It's horrible. And it broke my heart when I read that, and when you guys connected the dots for me on exactly what had happened there, because of course the documentary doesn't go into that part. It's more that I was kind of skipping through parts, but if I remember correctly, it was like she had gone home to try to help because of the invasion that had happened, and it was during that she was captured, not that she was sent back with this body cam for bonus footage. Let that sink in. Since that's what's being alleged there, that she was sent back with this body cam, and during that time she was captured. Oh God. Okay. It was this storyline that they decided to stick Meghan into. Again, I went into how they basically edited Meghan out, and I've had a lot of reports on that too, saying they really had to go through and Meghan tried to make herself front and center, allegedly, throughout this docuseries, whatever, and Netflix really had to go through and scrub her out of that. And I agree, I can see it. because she's barely in the thing, thank goodness. But the part she is in, it had to do with this woman's story, and that's what made me feel ill, because, you know, you're rooting for this woman and hearing this horrible story of her and what she went through when, you know, captured, and then they fly her daughter in, since she's captured during this, you know, during this point. They fly her daughter in to train for the Invictus in her place. And this is when Meghan cuts in and gives a speech. You know what I mean? Like, it's not funny, but it's like so gross. I can't help but laugh, because of course she's going to make this about her. All right, let's change gears and talk about the reviews / ratings that are coming in on this thing. And now, again, it's only been out for a little bit at the time of the recording, so it's going to ping pong around a little bit. So the numbers will probably look different when you look at it. But at the time of this recording, it has a 6-star, 6 out of 10 review on IMDb, with about 73 people that have chimed in. Okay, I'm going to start out with this reviewer who gave it a 10 out of 10. And let me tell you, this is my opinion, why I think it's Meghan and Harry's people. Shocking, right? They'd cheat or lie about something? No, they've never been known to do that. The reason I think this is because there are reviews like this popping up. And I'm not even going to bore you with all the details. It goes into what a heartfelt documentary it is. And it is a heartfelt documentary. Too bad those two have to ruin it. But there's a specific line in here that says, please ignore the hateful reviews. It has nothing to do with the documentary, but more to do with the bigotry, irrational hate, the ist words they love to throw around, and classism against Meghan, and extends to Harry. So do you see what I'm saying? No. Okay. People that are actually reviewing this documentary aren't going out of their way to say that, I just don't believe it. I don't. It's her people saying this. And again, it's a Meghan tactic. Instead of people actually being able to say, hey, you know, they kind of ruined this documentary. It's, oh, you didn't like it because of Meghan, because of the ist words she loves to throw around, you know, misogynist, racist, all the stuff that she loves to throw around. So nobody can have an opinion different from them, because if you do, you're called the ist words. That's where I'm going with that. So it's bullshit. Reviews like this are bullshit. If you want to like it, fine. It's not up to me. You can like it. I get it. Again, the people are absolutely riveting. It's just the two idiots, they keep inserting themselves, that I have a problem with. But I have a problem with reviews like this because I do feel like every time I refresh it, another one like this pops up that's trying to silence any criticism by throwing around those ist words. And again, I point back to, that's what Harry and Meghan like to do. If you don't agree with them, it's not that you have any valid points or that they could possibly learn from anything. It's that your whatever ist word they choose is trendy at the moment. All right, let's get on to the more realistic one, shall we? This one gave him a 1 out of 10, and it's by Smith & Co., and they called this one Pass on This Pile. You ready? This is nothing but propaganda put out by Meghan Markle and Harry's people. It is produced by them to be an advertisement for them. Meghan Markle took a cut of the money for her wardrobe and styling rather than where the money should have gone, straight to the vets themselves. Harry is clueless, is this written by one of you guys, and is using this program to pitch himself to give speeches. I could not stick with the show because Harry kept popping up to tell us all of his struggles. As soon as they are removed, I'm happy to support the event. Until then, I can find more worthy causes. If this cause was so important to Harry and Meg, why would she take money for the appearance? Why not pass it on to the soldiers? Despicable, the both of them. Whoa. Well said. Was that one of you guys? Well said. I love it so much. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us are saying the same things in the comments. There's something I wanted to address here. Let's see. Harry popped up and kept talking about his struggles, and happy to support them when they're removed. And yeah, that is a good point about why take the money for the appearance. Why not pass it on for the soldiers? And I've heard, I gotta say allegedly again because it's not confirmed, but I've heard the same stories you have about all the money that was spent on outfits and stylists or whatever, hair people, all the things. Ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. All right, this one's called Horrible in Every Way. And it says, I feel for the vets. I don't care for Harry or his sob stories. Garbage show. He ruined it. Remove him from it. There's nothing that we learned that we didn't already know. Harry harps on about his mommy issues and his Oedipus complex. Why is something that's supposed to be amazing ruined by this clown? Why wouldn't we just have the vet stories? Why do we need Harry's wah fest? So pathetic of Netflix. I guess Netflix has to make good on their millions of dollars they spent on him and his sociopathic wife. Harry never set up Invictus. It was made by the palace, and they gave Harry the role of presenting it. He really has no skills or talent, so this is the best they could do. Make him the face. Wow. Again, was this one of you guys? Amazing. Brilliant. Yeah, exactly what we've been saying. All right. This person also gives it a 1 out of 10 and says Harry makes it about Harry. So many speeches about family and service throughout the episodes. What business do Harry and Meghan have speaking about either of those things? It would have been great had they both been edited out. So much for privacy. We want privacy. The servicemen and women are great with interesting stories, but the documentary wouldn't let us get invested in the. Hey, I said the same thing. It wouldn't let us get invested in those because we had Harry speaking up about his past and his struggles every 3 minutes. The grifters just continue to grift and play victim. It's all they know how to do at this point. It makes sense. It makes no sense that they're still involved in the project and only detracts from the actual survivors. Well said. So I'm not going to keep reading them, but I am going to flash them on the screen while I talk. So if you want some laughs, definitely go take a look at these because, again, people are having more and more to say. You can tell that her people / the sugars are trying as fast as they can possibly type, although it's a little bit more well written than what I've seen from the sugars. So I don't think it's the sugars, but her people are trying to keep the IMDb score up, and it's rapidly declining because of, again, more people being honest in the comments. But again, if you try to speak out against these two, there is no reasoning. It's just you're throwing horrible accusations. Anyway, they're taking pages out of Meghan and Harry's playbook. I'm going to leave this here as more news comes out. I'll be talking about it. I'm sure we have lots more to come. I have lots of videos outside of this topic, so don't worry, we won't burn out of this, but it's just fascinating to see how people are reacting to it. Guys, as always, a huge thank you to everybody who took the time to write me today. I got so many messages. We are safe from the hurricane. We're in Florida, but it's just a lot of rain and having some power issues, but we're good. We'll keep going and talking about this stuff. So everybody be safe out there, and I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this, and I really can't wait to read your comments on this one. Thank you, as always. I appreciate you all. Honk honk, everybody.